So it's time to talk about Barbarian Queen, or more specifically, the two-film Barbarian Queen franchise, starring Lana Clarkson, which I have been corrected as far as my assumption um, goes for the actress in Deathstalker. It was actually Lana Clarkson. Um, and I kind of fouled up on that. This will be kind of the second to last review. After this, I'm going to review Dragon Slayer, and then I'm going to take a break to get back to the main cruxus of what the show is about and discuss more things on D&D. But I will be doing another future episode of fantasy movies in the genre in general. Another, you know, somewhat discussionary marathon, if you will. And I'll have things um, in there, like Red Sonja and the Sorceress, and another film in which I really kind of want to review or talk about is Lucio Fulci's Conquest, because that's just a weird one. You know, there's there's really plenty more. I might get around to the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit series as well. Because those are very influential in the world of fantasy, clearly. And there's plenty more, Talking about Beastmaster, Yor, Hunter from the Future, maybe. I'm still trying to get my hands on that, by the way. Very hard to find. But hopefully I'll be able to get my hands off of it. Get my hands on it. Fuck. uh, and hopefully I'll be able to see that. Uh, Gore was another one that I had recently seen. And that kind of leads into a second movie that has been somewhat impossible to find, so I might do a review on Gore. But really, I'm not sure. The Throne of Fire is another one that I have yet to get to, but hopefully I'll be able to watch that. There were more than a few fantasy movies in which I had not seen once I got into doing this, and this has kind of allowed me to explore the more rarer stuff as far as the fantasy genre goes. So that's been kind of rewarding. But anyways, back to Barbarian Queen. Now that I'm done talking about my future plans here. Like I said, I will be getting back to it in the near future, but it's kind of best to take a bit of a break from that and get back to the main narrative of what the channel is all about. And I will be reviewing other movies as well in the future. It's not always going to be like medieval fantasy kind of stuff. Do some sci-fi and some horror and all kinds of movies, and anything that I really feel is needing a praise or has influenced certain things. As far as the world of imagination and and has really been a heavy influence on creative ideas and things that inspire, basically. you know Say, for instance, Logan's Run. Wow. you know that is definitely a movie made to you know inspire right there. But I need to stop going off on tangents and examples. I guess part of the reason why is because I'm kind of dreading doing the second portion of this review. Because, well, let's just get into it. So, the first Barbarian Queen is a great movie. Hands down, the better of the two. It's about a barbarian village that is sacked by this kingdom. And the men are all killed, and the women are, assaulted and captured. And what basically ends up happening is they end up being captured to be sold into sex slavery. But a few of them get away, led by the main woman, who is, of course, what the show is named after, who is this blonde-haired bombshell of a woman. I'm just stuttering all over this review. See, I did it again. I don't even know why. Let's kind of wrap this up, because tonight is clearly not my my best here. I'm definitely not on the top of my game for this one, needless to say. So anyways, she and a few of her girls escape, and they lead a rebellion in order to save their enslaved people, basically, against this kingdom, and it is fantastic. One of the scenes, which is one of the beginning fight scenes after the initial raid on their village, was really memorable to me and kind of stuck out. And she's fighting this guy in the water, and man, she's just savagely trying to hack him up with the sword, and he deserves it, really. And I remember that fight scene being incredibly awesome, and just, kind of the brutality of the way she went with it, after getting just so upset and so mad at everything that's transpired. And yeah, she really laid into him with that sword, and man, yeah, needless to say, she kills the shit out of him. And that kind of was the moment that sold me on the movie in general, That was kind of the moment where you had your hero finally, the rising up moment sort of deal. And that really sold me on the Barbarian Queen. And then the second movie happened. I saw the second movie right after the first, because when I was watching them, it was kind of like a back-to-back thing, and I was hot off the heels back when I saw it of Barbarian Queen, and I wanted to continue the saga, right? Start off the second movie, played by the same actress, but she is not playing the same character, in fact. She's playing a completely different character. It has nothing to do with the first movie. She is a princess whose father is recently allegedly killed. The throne of her kingdom is being usurped by another individual, and he wants power, and in order to get it, he must be handed the power of this mystical scepter, in which the princess has overall control of, and only through her can he obtain it. And it's not really specified as to what the scepter can do because it really doesn't come into play at all. Like, you never actually learn what it's really capable of. And it doesn't really matter because the movie just lacklusterly bad. Like, it is just, it's cheaply made. You can clearly tell all the weapons are just, these plastic toys. It's so bad. I understand if you have a cheaper budget, and I don't necessarily condemn a film based on that. But man, is it just... It seemed like something to just, again, right off the heels of Barbarian Queen to get a little extra money. And even then, the sequel has nothing to do with the first film. It's really poorly acted and just really poorly executed and very cheaply made. And the only thing it has going for it is nudity. Realistically, I hate to say that. And the first one had nudity too, but, you know, in number 2, it just seems like the main selling point of the movie, because it doesn't have anything else going for it, really, and it's a goddamn shame. And I can see why there was never a third one made. I don't understand. Why couldn't we have a sequel with the hero from the first one? Why did we have to do this completely new story that clearly doesn't work with the same name as the first one? I don't understand. It's so bafflingly bad. And it really is a shame. So I would say if you ever want to check out Barbarian Queen, definitely go for the first one. Again, Barbarian Queen is kind of like a film that doesn't really hold a whole lot of punches. There's some sensitive material in there for those who are wondering or even care. It's definitely got that R rating for a reason. Okay, it's a movie from 1985, so you can only imagine. And yes, there is an excessive amount of nudity in it, but I honestly found the story of the original Barbarian Queen very engaging, and the adventure overall really kind of just kept my attention through the whole thing. Like, I was rooting for the girls the whole time, whereas Barbarian Queen 2, I'm not rooting for anybody. I don't have my hero from the first one, and I'm not interested at all. There's only so much nudity's gonna do, and that's the only thing it had going for it, and it was just really kind of lame. So, just if you're gonna go into Barbarian Queen, watch the first one and stick to that, because that's really the only one that's even worth it. Till next time.